Hello, hello. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you so much for being here, for studying, for your practice, and for your support. Like, subscribe. It's a Bodhisattva act. Helps the Lotus, or helps our Kwun reach more people through YouTube. So thank you. The engine of life. That's the next term out of alphabetical order here in the first draft of our Buddhist reference book. This is a term that I came up with, and it's a melding of many other Buddhist terms that are, some are confusing, some are old, some are newer, and I just did a video about all of that. There's a lot of concepts rolled into one here to try to simplify our understanding of what Buddhism is identifying as the problem and the solution at the same time. So I have three meanings listed. Number one is Myoho Renge Kyo. Why do I say that? Because Myoho Renge Kyo is the invocation for our samsaric mind to witness, to experience in this life, in this moment, the engine of life. Not really a definition, but we're getting there. Number two, karma. Whoa, the engine of life is karma? Oh, what an interesting way to put it. Why would you say karma is the engine of life? Don't we have good karma, bad karma? Well, there's a whole definition on karma in this book, so you can go look at that and add that in, shoehorn this in, right? But karma, this progression from formation, not the energy, but the formation of the energy, the coming together of the energy to express itself in a certain form. Everything from a quark to an atom to a molecule, the amalgam of these different forms, making new forms, combining to make yet more forms, right? Think Big Bang. Think the universe coming from quiescent energy to very suddenly in the scale of time of the universe, our scale of time actually, but this flash of chain reaction of intense energy, plasma, finally expressing itself to such a massive state that it actually starts to dispense heat, which we now see as photons, the cosmic background radiation, right? The CMB, cosmic CMB, right? So background, microwave background, yeah. Anyway, my thoughts just spill right out of my mouth, don't they? Anyway, that process of formations to form is where karma is. It's what karma is defining. And as it amalgamates and turns into the apparatus that I call it, the universe, which is our bodies, our brains, that emerge this quality, this consciousness, this mind, sentient mind, right? All of it is essential to the formation of your mind, my mind, every single mind. It's not homogeneous, because the way that flash and chain reaction of amalgams comes together is largely the same, but independently different enough that each of us experiences the engine of life, right? The same, or not the same way. Largely the same, but uniquely as well. Our tendency in samsara is to make that uniqueness an ego, a self. And Buddhism says, well, there's the rub, because in actuality, there is no difference between us and everything else in the universe. But that craving to be, right, goes a little bit off the rails and creates all our suffering, because now we want to maintain the be, Instead of being with the momentum, we want be to be everything up till now. That's me. No, it's not. You're moving through time. You're not that anymore. You're changing constantly. Be here. Right? Sounds simple enough, but all of the language of Buddhism is about this issue. The way we experience life, the engine of life, and the way we impact or are impacted by that karma is our state of mind, the way that we experience life. So do you want to experience life with stress, anxiety, worry? Because you're not looking forward. It's like driving in a car backwards. Or not driving backwards, but facing backwards as the car is driving forward. It can panic you. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going on. You don't know where you're going. And Buddhism says, you know what? All you need to do is turn around and let that go. It's in the past. It's not affecting you anymore. Take that same karma, that same momentum, but view it as a driver. Be with it, in concert with it. Wow. Suddenly, life is exciting. Life is momentous. No pun intended. Life has meaning, a goal, a direction. That's as simple as I can make Buddhism. So, back to this. The engine of life consists of three parts. Energy in its rest state, or quiescence, is a state of all potential, where no thing exists in physical form. Secondly, the agitation or spark, perturbation, temperature change, vibration, or choose any word that pertains to some influence or condition. This new condition, no matter how minute, becomes the progenitor of a possible chain reaction. This chain reaction either compounds and adds more conditions and builds tendencies, or simply, weakens and dissolves back into quiescence. This is the realm of formations. They don't necessarily lead to form. They may just dissolve right then. Expressions of energy manifesting moment to moment in a kinetics of instantiation. And thirdly, as these formations ultimately express into form, these expressions into form or karma, the expression of formations, are once again occurring in a kinetics of moment-to-moment instantiations, repeating and creating a momentum of expressions subject to the influences of the conditions and tendencies both within them and surrounding them. This is the basis of all phenomena from which all the universe is a function. Now pay attention to that second to last sentence, because included in that, and maybe I should add it, this repeating and creating a momentum of expression subject to the influences of the conditions and tendencies both within them and surrounding them. Isn't that the Buddhist teaching of self and environment? They're really the same thing happening at the same time. I think I will add that in there. I think that would be useful. So you see, the engine of life is kind of an easier package of language for us to perceive all these other concepts at once. Now, I'm doing that. I've created this term. I can't imagine that Nichiren and Tendai and Dengyo and Nagarjuna and Vasubandhu and Shakyamuni himself didn't do exactly the same thing. Because they were teaching to people's capacity. And what people knew at the time was the language that they understood, a slight modification of that language or a new term taking parts of that language and forming a new idea would be useful. This is the history of language. So always, I say, be mindful of that as you read the various literatures and sutras of Buddhism, and certainly the authors, yeah, because they're going to have their biases, right? So I don't think you're going to find Engine of Life in a lot of other Buddhist literature. Maybe it's out there, I don't know. But to my mind, Engine of Life is a concept of these other terms that on their own might seem a little hard to understand. But I think it's easy to see potential coming together to express form, some kind of thing. I think that's an easy equation. And instead of having to say all of that, to become aware that that's what we're looking to experience, Engine of Life is a nice little container, isn't it? So that's what's defined in that one. And I'm going to get to work fixing the typo there and maybe adding a sentence or two. Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comments, or email me directly, tlksylvain@gmail.com. In the meantime, continue your practice. Incredibly proud of you guys for doing that. I look forward to your input as you and I together, in a way, are writing this reference manual. Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care of your health. Be kind. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.